Hello, everybody. Zoe here from Learning Boosters, and welcome to Wisdom Wednesday. Today's Wisdom Wednesday is all about teenage tantrums and how we can help our children at teenage years not to let that anger actually rule their lives and rule the whole household. So, you know how you feel, you think, my child's, hit those difficult years. What am I going to do? Well, at this stage, teenagers will have even more trouble with self-regulation. Yep, I'm sorry, that's the truth. Teenagers will have even more trouble with self-regulation. They will slam doors, they'll scream, they'll let you know well and truly that you cannot control them. And why is this? Well, most teenagers are naturally self-centered and they have a sense of entitlement. This is actually quite natural at this stage in their lives and natural in their development for them to be so self-centered and have that sense of entitlement. Because let's face it, the whole world of that child has been revolving around them and their needs until that time. Maybe a little bit earlier, but till now, this is their whole life. You know, the lives that they've lived, everything they've wanted, they've got straight away pretty much. When they wanted food, mum or dad got the food, or the carer got the food. When they wanted this, that, or the other, they got it straight away. When they needed a cuddle because they were feeling upset, they got it straight away, all those sorts of things. So till now, this has been their whole lives. So it's really a stage that they're going through when they hit that teenage time of having that sense of, self-entitlement, and they're very self-centered. It is natural. So during this time, the teenage brain is going through a huge reboot. So they're acquiring new skills, relationships, experiences, milestones, and their brains are literally under construction. It's a new construction depending compared to when they were younger, because now they're having to be more self-reliant. They're having to make a lot of their own decisions. And as I've said, because their brain is going through this major mammoth reboot, and they're taking on, as I said, all the new skills and relationships and everything, and they're negotiating so much, their brains are, so they're actually not the boss of their brains. Okay, so how can we help them to become the boss of their brain? So my codicil to this is, and major thing to this is, make sure you can help them when you are calm. So try not to help them when you're both in that full-blown tantrum mode, you're both angry, you're both yelling at each other, you're both not listening to each other. That's the worst time you can actually try and help a teenager. So try not to jump in straight away and fix the problem for them or change their reaction. Just give them some space, let them cool off. We need to try and respect their differing view. So where's the adult who hopefully have more control over our own emotions and our reactions? We need to step back and we need to model what the best behaviour is. So you need to start by respecting that they actually have a different point of view that doesn't agree with yours. And okay, it might be a view that you don't agree with and you don't think is the best for them. But this is a time when we need to help them to move forward and rebooting their brain in a correct way. You need to trust them. And this is one of the most difficult things as a parent, is to respect their differing view and to actually trust them. Because we so much as a parent, we want to help them. We don't want them to go through what we went through, but they have to go through what we went through. It's just part of growing up and part of being a human being. So as a parent, we need to stay neutral and we need to bite our tongue. And a couple of times, even with my own son, and look, he went through it all. I had to parent him through it all. And sometimes it really is not easy. Not easy to bite your tongue and not be as reactionary as they are, because we're a herd. We like to be part of that herd. And so we think, we have to react the same way that they are reacting to get the result we want for them. But that's not the case. We have to stand back, we have to bite our tongues, we have to minimalise our own emotions. But don't minimalise and minimise their emotions. Their emotions, what they're thinking and feeling, is very important. We have to give them that outlet. Let them blast it all out of their system. Let them have their space, then take up that situation again when they're calmer. And you can say to them, you know, when you got angry about the fact that I took your or was going to take your phone off you, can we talk about that now? And can we negotiate? Can we talk about why I thought it was important and your feelings towards that? So we're actually setting them up to use that part of the brain for reasoning, because when they're in that full-blown tantrum, throwing things, swearing, whatever they might be doing, that whole reasoning area of the brain shuts down and they go into the emotion area. So the best thing we can do is to give them the space, try and remain calm and breathe ourselves. And I know that's difficult because I've been in some situations with my son where I've blasted him and I've had to go back and apologise and say, sorry, that wasn't the reaction, the best reaction for this situation. Can we now talk about it, please? So also ask them if they'd like to talk about it when you're both calm. And if they say no, just say, I'd really like to revisit this with you because I feel that I actually didn't handle this situation as best as I could. And I'd like us to talk about this so that it doesn't come up again, so that we understand what's going on. Can we revisit it in 5 minutes? You know, it's 6:05 now. Can we talk about it at 6:10, please? And then leave them alone. Then go back at 6:10 and say, you know, I'd like to talk about it now. Let them know you're there for them. It doesn't matter what they've done. It doesn't matter, you know, how they've reacted. Let them know you're actually there for them, whatever the situation is. And say to them, I might not like what you've done. I might not like what you've said to me. I might not like the fact that you've hurt my feelings, but you need to know I'm always here for you. So you need to give them that outlet for their feelings as well, and for them to express their feelings. And some good things that I found with my son was exercise, like going for a walk, not with them, on their own, running, writing it down, and then ripping it up and throwing it away. So they're getting those feelings out. Art is a good way of doing it. Music, physical activity is very useful for releasing emotions. So they're just some practical things that you can have a think about. I wouldn't suggest that you try and put all of those in. I'd actually choose 1 or 2 and see how they work. And then if they don't work, try another 1 or 2. So this blog is actually written blog as well up on the website at Learning Boosters, www.learningboosters. And there's about 9 different practical things that you can do with them. So when you're talking to your child, be very specific about what behaviours you will accept. And it's really good if you can get the dad or, you know, whoever your significant other is involved in talking to the child as well, because our kids need to know that if they step over a particular important line that you as a family have put down, that there will be repercussions. That if they call you names, if they swear at you, if they scream at you, if they threaten or throw or break things, they've stepped over a line. And this is the consequences for having done that. This is setting them up for later on in life when they come against people that they're probably not able to relate to quite so well. Always try to revisit the situation, ask those open-ended questions. Keep it simple, don't force it. And don't be too long-winded. Don't talk at them too much. Allow space and allow them to reciprocate in talking to you. If you need to have a meeting with your team, and you can put together a plan. So when you have a meeting with your team, you can put together a plan as a family, as I said, and that gives those clear expectations of what respectful behaviour is, what it means to your household. You can start by writing down a mutual goal, like even I will stop using my phone at 7 p.m. at night. Or I will give my phone to mum or dad at 7 p.m. at night so that I don't keep looking at it and lack of sleep and then get, upset because I'm so tired for the next day. That might be a mutual goal, or it might just simply be how to treat one another with respect. That might be a goal. So what sort of things can you do? So what can they do when they get angry and they feel really angry? Can you have a word? My son and I used to have the word crocodile, so that if he said crocodile, I'd know that he needs time out and he will just wander off into the garden or go for a walk or into his room or whatever. And we'd have time out from each other. Use a word that's not going to be obvious to everyone else around you what he's doing. So time out is not probably a good word to use. Something funny, jazzy, whatever the word is. So time out is obvious and everybody else is going to go, If he just quietly or she quietly says to you, crocodile, you know what's going on, and they, that's an expectation of good behaviour, and they'll withdraw themselves. Also, it's really good to make a list of the out of bounds behaviours, so things like hitting, throwing things, swearing, calling of names, yelling, whatever it might be. Make sure you write those down as well. And make sure you have a reward attached to the goal. So you have a specific number of days and an appropriate consequence if they don't follow through. So there's 3 things there. You have the goal, you have a reward for what there's 4 actually. You have a reward for them having seen through whatever the goal is that you've set. You have a specific number of days attached to that goal, and you have consequences if they don't see that goal through. So there's a real open understanding of the expectations, and you all have to abide by it, not just them. It's not just about them. It's about you as a whole family unit. So you know what the consequences are for you too if something happens. So we should never let our kids get what they want if they can't respect themselves or others or you. We should never give them something after they've shown bad behaviour. So let your kids know that respectful behaviour is a must if they wish to negotiate with you. So if they wish to negotiate with you, they can't be yelling in your face, I want this, blah, blah, blah. You have to say crocodile or time out or whatever you want to use. Time out, let's talk about this when we're both calm. Now is not a good time. And sometimes your team will blast even more because you're trying to stop them from releasing their emotions. So don't stop them from releasing their emotions. Walk away. If they follow you, walk away. If they follow you, walk away. Keep doing that. And say to them, let's talk about this when we are both calmer. Try not to use I and you because that's putting the onus back on them, and that'll just flare them up even more. At all times, we need to try and be loving and understanding. So let your child know that you are there for them, whatever they might have done or said, and that they can talk to you about anything. If it's something that you as the second parent or the other parent is not handling particularly well, maybe you and your partner need to have a chat about it, and then the 3 of you get together. I would suggest that if it's an extreme behaviour, that it's just you, your partner, or your significant support person, and the child. Don't involve other kids that weren't involved in the situation, because then those kids can sometimes flare up themselves and say, well, such and such did it and you didn't, blah, blah, blah. It's just you, your significant other or support person, and the child that has shown the behaviour that is not acceptable. In this way, with these simple practical ideas, and again, just take 1 or 2 of them to start with, see which fits your family dynamic, the kids will not run the household, and anger in your household will be minimalised because there will be a new respect and understanding with each other. I hope that's helped. Please let me know how you go with it. And all the best for the next month. I'll see you next month. Bye.